gotta exalt the Son. In fact, let's see if I can pull an article. See if I can pull an article. But this is hysterical. It's hysterical. Everybody woke up to CNN. That shit was bullshit. Alright? Thanks for y'all, man, because this gave me a lot of problems today. Let me see, let's see if I can pull an article. Well, they said hate movement against whites, Jews, gays, new focus of DC. They said black Hebrew Israelites and obscure theology. Number one, is not an obscure theology. Number one, we're not black. Okay, with different shades of brown, like I just stated, man. Right? An obscure theology has become the focus. So all of a sudden, we're the focus now. And guess who orchestrated this whole thing? Is the Most High, man. Okay? Yahawashi did that, man. Okay? Read on though. It says, related in the face-off in Washington, D.C. that has sparked a national debate about politics, race, religion, social media, and civility. The Black Hebrew Israelites are really a movement. Eddie Burrich, Southern Poverty Law Center, and they have mostly all the camps. Southern Poverty Law Center. So they've been watching the videos. They have a particular interpretation of the Bible, which they believe that the blacks are the true tribes of Israel, essentially the true Jews. Okay, which the Negroes that came on this side of the world are the real Jews, man, and our Hispanic and our Native American brothers who came before us. Okay, from the Assyrian captivity, man. That's all 12 tribes had to be on this side of the world. That's prophecy, man. America's the last captivity, Babylon. All right? And the elites of this society know that. Okay? These white people know that these other Caucasians in the land of Israel ain't the real Jews. But they the devil too, because they won't come out and say who the true Israelites are too, man. And we don't need your approval, okay? We don't need the white media approval for this message, man. That's why the Most High set up that YouTube, man. And through that, this word has spread globally. Okay, and now they put us in the media. It says, yeah, Nathan and the Covington, them devils and little rat bastard future Klansmen, because that's exactly what they were. Okay, I'm going to get to where they talk about us. Forget all of this. It says news report thrust the movement into national spotlight. It wasn't you who thrust the movement. Scripture says man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man understand his own way? Okay? Ain't no such thing as free will. The Most High spurred this movement, man. Okay? In the national spotlight and raised questions about the intentions of the Israelites, who can be found proselytizing on street corners in cities nationwide, including Detroit. Let's read that again. In cities nationwide, including Detroit. That's why you got to come out to the streets, man. It's not about just sitting in your home all day, man. You got to deal with the elements. You got to deal with the people. You got to deal with these demons out here. You got to deal with all that, man. And through that work, starting with the elders, the apostles on down, this thing has spread, okay? Now the Most High is taking it to another level. But Belridge, the director of the civil rights organization, project to track domestic extremists. And how are we extremists? What houses have we burned down? What crosses have we put on people's lawn? Huh? How much people have we lynched? What countries have we bombed? What resources have we taken? What? The white man always knows who's a terrorist, but somehow, like they try to paint those kids, those lily white kids, man. Those were future dead devils, man. Demons, slanderers, okay? And we're bringing his dirt out. Okay? Funny, the white man's not a terrorist. Columbus across the street wasn't a terrorist. Huh?
I guess that bastard across the street is he's not a terrorist either, right?
Give me a freaking break, man. Let me tell you that these white people they're the devil, man. They're all terrorists. But they're the ones who always pointing the finger. But not with us, man. See, the truth is out, man. The Lord said he shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And y'all not shutting down nothing. Okay? The Most High is the one controlling this thing, man. And he's the one who put us in the spotlight, man. And that's going to further lead to your demise. Alright? Let's read on. It says, promote hate against Jewish, which there's no such thing as Jewish in the Bible. Okay? That's a made up term. Ish is a suffix which means pertaining to. And they don't even follow the Torah. They believe in the Talmud. The fake Jews in Israel, man. Come on, man. Give me a break, man. Those are Eastern Europeans. Khazars, man. They own people. Arthur Koster came out on them, man. On who those people are. And they own Jewish encyclopedia tells you that Edom is modern day Jewry. They call themselves celebrating Purim. First of all, Haman was your brother. Haman was an Edomite, man. You go back to King Agag, man. So you guys, man, you guys inherited lies, man. But let's read on, though. It says, gay and white people. First of all, being gay or homosexual, any of you Israelites that are gay or homosexual, if you don't repent, the Lord gonna kill you. It's just that simple, man. Okay, the Most High is not dealing with sodomy, man. He's not dealing with transgenders. He ain't dealing with none of that foolishness, man. Okay? That's the wine of Babylon. That's the wine of America. And white people, okay? Edomites, not white people, because you're going to have Israelites may have that curse of leprosy, all right? In many ways, she added, they are a mirror image of white groups that hate blacks. Lies, lies, and more lies, man. First of all, I never seen no Klansmen come out here and read the Bible. Not one time. Show me the video where they go out there prophesying, preaching. There ain't no videos of that, man. All them guys do is gather guns, okay? Okay? And shoot at the gun range. Because they know it's going to be a race war in this society, man. When all hell break loose. They not here prophesying doing what we do. They can't. Because the spirit is not with them. Alright? It says, so that's just more lies, man. It says, some property lost and founded by civil rights, blah, blah, blah. It says, let me read on. It says, a professor at Princeton University whose research focuses on African American religion, and that's another made-up term. You can't be African and American. I think it was that Jesse Jackass, okay? You know, started mainly pushing that term. Said that while Black Hebrew Israelites follow fit-centered definition of a hate group, they have no power to do much, and he's right on that, man. Okay, so we don't have no power. Our power comes from above, man. It says they reject whiteness. Well, because so-called white man whitewashed history. Okay, so we had to come out here and tear them down, tear down their strongholds, man, and see themselves as God's people in a way that's not unlike the theologian rejection that the Nation of Islam does. And no, we're not familiar. We're not dealing with the Nation of Islam either. Because Farrakhan knows the truth. And he even brought it out and said who the Israelites are. See? What they've been doing this weekend is what they do. They plant themselves and they orally assault people and they're proselytizing. I'm going to get a scripture on that. So, you know, we read that article. It said we verbally assault people. I'm going to show you what the Messiah did. Let's see if Yahawashi was out there chastising people verbally. Matthew chapter 11, verse 19. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous, and a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. But wisdom is justified of her children. Then he began to upbraid the cities where most of his mighty works were done, because they repented not. What does that word upbraid mean? Let's look it up. Let's look it up, man. Upbraid, to speak in an angry or critical way. Alright? To criticize severely. Woo! To reproach severely. scold vehemently. That's what the Messiah was doing. Okay? Funny they never read those scriptures in the wicked ass Christian church, man. That den of iniquity, man. Okay? They never bring those scriptures out, man. Like the Messiah was walking around just hugging everybody. He was cursing people out, man. Because them people weren't right no way, man. Right? He cursed out the Pharisees and Sadducees in Matthew the 23rd chapter. When they were selling goods in the Father's temple, he overthrew tables, man. Matter of fact, let's get that account. John 2:15. Because people don't know who the Messiah truly is. They don't know who God is, man. They don't even know who the prophets are. Like the prophets were nice men. Okay? People hated the prophets. Why? Because they told them about themselves, man. John 2:15. John chapter 2 verse 15. It says, and when he had, let me jump up. After this, he went to Capernaum, which that was a place where he had a lot of bougie Israelites. Okay? He and his mother and his brethren and his disciples, and they continued there not many days. And the Jews' Passover was at hand. Yahawashi went up to Jerusalem and found in the temple those that sold oxen, sheep, and doves on the Lord's Passover, man. I'll show you Jake was never right, man. And the changes of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he took a whip. He drove them out of the temple. What was he doing with that whip, man? Beating niggas' ass, man, and drove them out of the temple. And the sheep and the oxen, whipping the oxen, and poured out the changers' money and overthrew the tables. And said unto them that sold doves, take these hence, and make not my father's house an house of merchandise. Yahawashi didn't say, oh, listen, brothers, y'all ain't supposed to be doing all that. He chased their ass out, man. Alright, so the Messiah wasn't out here loving everybody. Okay? Let me get Matthew 10:34. What did Yahawashi say? Matthew 10:34. He said, think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. That's what the Messiah said, and that's what he's literally going to do when he cracked the heavens open, man. When he makes his second coming. Okay, that grand finale. And Esau and these other nations, all this shit talking is going to stop, man. Because y'all going to be destroyed, and then the remnant of y'all going in captivity. And the ones that die on this side, y'all going to be going back in the kingdom, because everybody's going to be in the kingdom. Okay? But y'all going to be at the very bottom in society, man. Y'all not going to have apartments, y'all going to have pits. Okay? Esau's going to be treated like the trash that he is, man. So the Messiah wasn't out there loving everybody. Let me get Jeremiah 28 verse 8. Okay? We got spiritual war, man. That's what you brothers got to be wise, man. You can't be shooting at no gun range talking about the pull-up boys. That's not wise, man. Okay? Especially the devil gonna dig up that footage, man. Okay, paint his image on who we are. Jeremiah 28 verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries. So the prophets prophesied against countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence, man. That's what the prophets did, man. Okay? The Most High sent the prophets. I wasn't to tell you good things, man. To let you know that death was nigh, man. Okay? And then the children of Israel back then listened to the prophets. No, they didn't. Just like 2/3 of you today ain't listening, man. Okay? When your food stamps get cut, all right, and you lose your Section 8 for you guys that's milking the government, then reality gonna set in, man. And then you're gonna see that these people were never your friend. Okay? And that you really trust in oppression. And you trust aka death. Alright? The Lord ain't dealing with that, man. So it says let me read it again. Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms. What's the great kingdom ruling? America, Babylon, man. Alright? Of war, evil, and of pestilence. And all those things are coming. War is coming. Okay, Venezuela. I'm gonna have to put that report up. Okay, they got they got insurrections going on over there. Okay, this guy, forgot this guy's name, overthrew the government, and he told all the American diplomats they gotta leave, and he's seeking the backing of Russia and China. All right, and Russia already warned America, don't militarily get involved with Venezuela. So World War III gonna happen, man. Okay, the Cold War was just a war of words. Ain't gonna be words anymore, man. Why? Because it's prophecy. Okay. All right. So, like I was saying before, let me read Matthew 5 and 10. That's what Yahawashi said that will happen. Because the persecution not going to stop. When you go into history, there was something called the Great Persecution underneath Nero. Nero Caesar, which was one of the worst Caesars ever. Okay, this guy started a great fire in Rome. I think it was Tiberius, Caligula, I think Claudius did Nero. And it was also believed that he's the one who had the Apostle Paul executed. Right? That's how big this thing was growing, man. And what were the Christians doing? Okay? The same thing that we're doing today. On the highways and hedges, man. And the Christians told the Romans that their way of life was evil, man. In so much that it started bothering the Romans, man. Matter of fact, let me get Acts 18. Let's get into these precepts. Okay? Let's get Acts chapter 18. Okay? They got annoyed with the prophet. The scripture says they hated him that rebuketh in the gate. Acts chapter 18, verse. Start. Acts chapter 18. Acts 18 and 1. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth. And they found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, proving that where you're born on the term of your nationality. You're born in Italy. And his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome, and came unto them. So it started from Claudius. And then you had the great persecution with Nero. Because what were the Jews, aka the Christians, the Israelites, what were we doing back then in ancient Rome, man? Same thing we're doing right now, man. Okay? They weren't following the Roman gods, man, or the Roman ideology, man. There was a clear separation. And Nero pointed them out. And he caused all them great fires. And he said, oh, it was the Christians who did it. And then you had, I think his name, Diocletian, who also got annoyed. This was way later on in the Roman Empire, and started throwing out people in the arenas, man. And started having being executed. Okay, the Christians weren't doing like the idiots are doing today, jumping up and down. They were out there prophesying, man. Right? And as wicked as Rome was, they had a problem with it. And you had all kind of religions in Rome, but they pointed out. Matter of fact, let me see if I get an article. Get into some little history. The scripture says there's nothing new under the sun. Get some history. This is tactitious. No, tactitious on the Christians. This is a Roman historian, and he was a historian, and he was also a member of the Senate, I think. Yeah, he was. On July 19th, 27, Rome was destroyed by a great fire, Only 4 of his 14 orders remain intact. The Emperor Nero, blamed by the Roman populace, and in turn blamed the Christians. Okay? The Roman historian Tacitus explained what happened. The translator of Annals 1544, it is known. It is not known. But all the efforts, this is Tacitus. But all the human efforts, all the lavish gifts of the emperor, of the gods, did not banish the sinister belief that the conflagration was the result of an order. Consequently, to get rid of the report, Nero fastened the guilt and inflicted most exquisite tortures on a class hated for their abominations, called Christians by the populace. Christus, which is Yahawashi, which they talk about the Christ or the anointed, the Messiah, from whom the name had its origin, suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of our proprietors, Pontius Pilate, and at the most mischievous superstitions where people say the Lord didn't exist. Okay? He's writing about him in his annuals. Okay? And what did they say? They said Nero fastened the guilt and inflicted most exquisite tortures on a class hated for the abominations called Christians. So guess what? Nero Caesar caused all those fires, and he blamed it on a new radical group called the Christians. And guess what? They doing it today again, man. Okay? They're going to try to have more homeborn terrorist attacks, and they're going to seek somebody to blame, man. It's your own government that's carrying that out, man. And it's your own government that's going to crash this system, man. Alright? But that's what the devil does, man. He's a slanderer. It says, broke out not only in Judea, the first source of the evil, but even in Rome, where all things hideous and shameful. But every part of the world find their center and become popular. The word started growing. Okay? And who were the ancient Christians back then? The Israelites, man. So the Romans hated the Christians, man. Because why? The Christians were out there prophesying, doing what we're doing. Okay, not like them idiots today in the Christian church, man. Jumping up and down, rolling on the floor. That's not what that's not what the Lord was doing, or the apostles or the disciples. They were out there preaching, and it became a nuisance because this word is what? Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 14. Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 14. It says, therefore thus saith Yahawashi power of hosts, because he speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. And that's what's happening, man. The word is fire and the people is wood. And we yet to see somebody combat what we're saying. We haven't seen not one. Now one of you clowns combat what we're saying, because it's the truth. It's the truth, man. You can't combat us in history. Okay? The white man been found out to be a liar and a demon. And you can't damn sure combat us in these scriptures. Okay? They can't, man. There's only one truth, man, under the heavens, man. And Yahawashi has given it to his men. And his men is what? The 144,000 of the 12 tribes. That's it. And they all sing in that new song. Alright? It's not a new song, it's just renewal. Because for a long time, we went back into sleep. That's what scripture says. After the 3 days and a half, the spirit of life entered into them, and they stood on their feet in great honor. A great fear fell on all those who saw them. We in that time now. Alright, let me get some more scriptures out. Just trying to warm up a little bit. Oh, hold on here, boy. So like I was saying, man, all glory to Yahawashi, man. So I was gonna focus, we're gonna suffer persecution for the word's sake. We'll get the scripture out in a minute. Alright, just think of year round. But always think about the latter end. Always. Right? Don't focus on the persecution, man. Focus on the victory. Right? And you know the victory is assured because it's already written. Our victory is already written. chapter 5, verse 10. Let me see. Matthew 5 and 10. It said, Matthew chapter 5, verse 10, it says, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness. Read it again. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of the Most High. Kingdom of heaven, man. So you got to suffer persecution. You have to. There's no other way around it. Okay? You're not going to skip into the kingdom. It's not going to happen, man. You're going to be tried. You're going to be scarred. Okay? But you're going to shine in the end. Verse 11. Blessed are they when they shall revile you, speak evil, and persecute you, and shall say all men of evil against you. False, that is the point, for my name's sake. Oh, them guys are child molesters. Or them guys speak down on women. All this madness, man. Okay? And all the pedophiles is in the White House. You had the Pizzagate scandal. You had these Catholic priests, these Jewish rabbis, man. Okay, Hollywood. Nothing but pedophilia in Hollywood. Corey Feldman brought that out. But you see, they skate that under the rug. See? But it don't matter anyway. Let me read on. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so they persecuted the prophets which were before you. There you go. So Yahawashi said, listen, man, I ain't nothing new, man. Don't get bent out of shape. Because this is just... Now things are going to greatly, rapidly speed up. Because we're in that time. The days are shortening. Luke 16:15. Luke 16:15. And he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men. And that's what people always try to do, justify themselves in front of these wicked people, man. Because you care about the vain opinions of these copper tops out here, these useless eaters, man. Okay? They care about public opinion. If you care about public opinion, you can't be in this truth. How you doing? How you doing? Right? You can't be in this truth, man. Read again, Luke 16:15. And he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but the Most High knoweth your hearts or your mind. For that which is highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of the Most High. LeBron James, an abomination to the Most High. Jay-Z, Beyonce, all these celebrities, man, they're an abomination because they're highly esteemed amongst these people, man. They're a friend of the world. If you're a friend of the world, that means you're an enemy of the Heavenly Father and His Son. Because the scripture tells you that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. The wicked is ruling. What does Satan tell Yahawashi in Luke the 4th chapter? He said, he showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. Okay? And you best believe America was a part of that. And he said, all this will I give thee and the glory of thee. For it was given unto me and to whomsoever I will give it to. Okay, meaning you want to make this world, you got to seek my approval. And that's how all these celebrities have made it to where they at, man. All these politicians, these judges, they all worship Satan, man. They all take part in crazy sex rituals, blood up sacrifices, all right, to get that power from the left hand. Okay, they'll make you believe that there's no God. They know that the spiritual realm is real, man. That's where they get their power. That's where they get their instructions. Okay? That's where they salute the Baphomet, man. They know it's very real, man. Okay? That's where they push a homosexuality. That's all that satanic agenda, that Aleister Crowley doctrine, man. And they all invoking the gods of the demons, okay, of the ancient world, man. Following the ways of the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Babylonians. And what happened to them empires? They all fell. Okay? Because there's only one God. Let me read Psalms 96. I quoted it earlier. Blow my nose, man. Psalms 96. Hold on.